There are moments in history when a nation doesn't just advance, it accelerates. And right now, China isn't moving forward. It's bending the timeline of the future, as if someone plugged the country straight into a quantum reactor. While the rest of the world is still debating what tomorrow's transportation might look like, China is already testing it, fine-tuning it, and launching it at speeds that feel more like physics simulations than anything meant to run on a track. Just imagine, for a second, traveling so fast that cities stop being locations on a map and start looking like frames flashing by in a film running at 10 times speed. Imagine trains so advanced they don't even roll anymore. They float. And others engineered so precisely, they behave like carbon fiber arrows slicing through the air with almost aggressive efficiency. This is not science fiction. This is China's rail technology. And today, we're counting down the 5 fastest trains China has ever created, each one more futuristic and more ambitious than the last. CRH-380A, CRH-380AL. Before China dominated the high-speed world, the CRH-380A and CRH-380AL were the trains that proved the country was ready to play in the big leagues. These models weren't created to reach 350 kilometers per hour. They were engineered to live there, to operate at extreme velocity with stability that older systems simply couldn't match. The CRH-380A's iconic needle-sharp nose wasn't for looks. It was the result of intense aerodynamic modeling that reduced drag, minimized tunnel pressure waves, and kept the train stable in crosswinds. At these speeds, air stops being harmless. It becomes a physical force. This design made the train cut through it instead of fighting it. Lightweight aluminum alloys, high-strength composites, and redesigned bogies helped eliminate micro-vibrations that become dangerous above 330 kilometers per hour. Even the windows were reinforced for sudden pressure changes. Every detail screamed, built for extreme speed. The extended version, the CRH-380AL, kept the same DNA, but stretched the body for more capacity, bigger, heavier, yet just as stable. Then came the defining moment, a 486.1 kilometers per hour test run that made the world stop and stare. This wasn't hype. It was China proving technologically, and very publicly, that it was no longer following Japan or Europe, it was overtaking them. The CRH-380AAL wasn't just a train. It was China's first unmistakable announcement of high-speed mastery. CRH-380BL. The CRH-380BL was the train China built to show the world it could break records not by luck, but by engineering. While the CRH-380A was all elegance and aerodynamic finesse, the CRH-380BL was pure calculated power, a high-speed machine designed to push the limits of what a wheel-on-rail system can endure. Its greatest claim to fame came during testing, when it hit an unbelievable 487.3 kilometers per hour, becoming one of the fastest conventional trains ever recorded in China. That achievement wasn't a stunt. It was the result of a perfectly tuned distributed traction system that delivered massive power across multiple cars, giving the train a steady, controlled acceleration instead of a single locomotive dragging all the weight. The engineering behind it was equally intense. The bogies were strengthened with advanced anti-yaw systems to prevent tiny side-to-side oscillations from turning into dangerous vibrations at extreme speeds. The train body used optimized aluminum alloys that kept resonance under control, and even the pantograph, the part that connects to overhead power lines, was redesigned to keep electricity stable at nearly 500 kilometers per hour. Inside, the CRH-380BL ran on a real-time sensor network, constantly monitoring temperature, tension, vibration, and aerodynamic pressure. It was one of China's first truly smart high-speed platforms, reacting instantly to changing conditions at high speed. The CRH-380BL didn't just prove China could join the high-speed elite, it proved China could set the new ceiling. Shanghai Maglev. The Shanghai Maglev train isn't just fast, it floats. This is China's bold declaration that the era of wheels is ending and the era of magnet-powered travel is beginning. Running between Pudong International Airport and Longyang Road Station in Shanghai, this line covers roughly 30 kilometers in about 7 to 8 minutes. At its commercial peak, it achieved a cruising speed of 431 kilometers per hour, making it, at the time, the fastest train service in the world. What makes it exceptional is that it doesn't rely on wheels. The train levitates via magnetic force, eliminating the friction that limits conventional high-speed rail. But there's more than just speed. The maglev represents a technological leap, the physics of flight applied to rail. Because there's no wheel-rail contact, the ride is ultra-smooth, vibrations minimal, and acceleration rapid. Instead of resting with mechanical constraints, engineers designed a system where air resistance is the main opponent, and they met it head-on. This train isn't just a novelty, it's a proof of concept. It tells the world, yes, we can build future mobility today. And in doing so, China planted its flag at the summit of high-speed innovation. CRRC 600. Imagine this, a train that doesn't ride the rails. It floats above them, reaching speeds that turn what once took hours into mere minutes. That's exactly what China's CRRC 600 is all about. Designed by CRRC, China Railway Rolling Stock Corporation, in partnership with German-licensed Maglev Tech. This prototype maglev is engineered for a top speed of 600 kilometers per hour, a velocity that makes many aircraft routes jealous. Unlike conventional high-speed trains with wheels and rails, the CRRC 600 uses electromagnetic suspension, EDS, to levitate above the track, eliminating wheel-to-rail friction and letting it slice through air with far greater ease. The nose is long and tapered, the body built from carbon fiber and high-strength aluminum alloys, and the system is designed to maintain stability with a levitation gap of around 100 millimeters, even at blistering speeds. What makes this train mind-blowing isn't just the raw speed, it's the implication. Journeys that once consumed half a day could shrink dramatically. For example, the corridor between Beijing and Shanghai could be cut from about 4 to 5 hours to 2.5 to 3 hours if a dedicated CRRC 600 maglev line is deployed. We're not just watching the next generation of trains, we're witnessing a transportation paradigm shift. Because when a train moves at 600 kilometers per hour, the engineering problems aren't just about power anymore. They're about aerodynamics turning into shock waves, tunnels behaving like cannons, and systems that must anticipate real-time physics rather than just mechanical motion. The CRRC 600 addresses this with innovations like aerodynamic tunnel mitigation, self-stabilizing levitation, and real-time sensor networks built into the maglev chassis. In short, if the earlier trains were China's arrival in the high-speed world, the CRRC 600 is China's flight. And for anyone watching global mobility, it's a clear message. The future isn't just coming, it's lifting off. Super Bullet Maglev. The Super Bullet Maglev is the kind of machine that feels less like a train and more like something escaped from a physics lab developed as an experimental platform by Southwest Jiao Tong University. This levitating beast was engineered to push the limits of what humans think is possible on land, hitting a theoretical top speed of 620 kilometers per hour. At that point, you're no longer talking about transportation. You're talking about controlled flight just a few centimeters above a magnetic track. Unlike commercial maglevs, the Super Bullet isn't about comfort or capacity. It's a pure research weapon, designed to test how materials, superconducting magnets, and aerodynamic shapes behave when they're pushed to their absolute brink. Engineers here weren't trying to build the next airport shuttle. They were trying to understand what happens when a levitating object accelerates to aircraft-like velocities without wings. The secret behind its insane speed lies in superconducting maglev tech, where resistance drops so low that the train can glide with almost no energy wasted that with a sealed aerodynamic shell, a needle-sharp nose, and a low-pressure test environment, and you get a train that behaves more like a projectile than a vehicle. But the real value of the Super Bullet Maglev isn't the speed record. It's the data. Every vibration, every airflow disturbance, every micro shift in magnetic force gives engineers clues about how to design the next generation of ultra-fast mobility. Think of it as China's high-speed wind tunnel on rails, except the rails barely matter because the train almost never touches them. In short, the Super Bullet Maglev is China asking a simple question: how fast can we possibly go before physics itself taps out? And the answer apparently is a lot faster than anyone expected. China's high-speed trains aren't just machines. They're milestones in a country's race toward the future. From the early CRH models that proved China could compete, to the fuxing workhorses that redefined what fast feels like, and finally to the maglev titans that flirt with the very edge of physics, each generation has pushed the limits of what land travel can be. And if something is clear after seeing this top, it's that China isn't slowing down. It's accelerating. If you enjoyed this journey through the fastest trains on Earth, make sure to subscribe and join us for more deep dives into the technology shaping tomorrow. The next breakthrough might be closer than you think.